The best of all nerds.
Aaronville was not exaggerating about the cenotes. It would be a grueling ordeal to climb out of one. Well, thankfully, we made it here without incident. Let's not dally any longer. Ooh, new weapon coffer. What do I got?
Weapon cover. Dark mahogany weapon. It's not any better than what I have.
I can hit someone in the head with this.
Now, where is it, thou? Let's see what it looks like.
Oh, it looks like it looks like a lollipop lady.
It does look like a lollipop.
You want a lollipop, Koopa?
This thing is significantly smaller than my usual scythe. Although I feel bad for my position because I look like I'm about to slice off Alfie's legs.
Intimidated.
I dyed it pink. So now it's even more lollipoppy.
Lollipop. Lollipop.
Do not mock the lollipop. It is made of 3 inches of solid steel.
Indeed.
It can crunch bone.
Quiet.
Now, Wuk
Wuk Lamat.
Ready to head on in?
Yes. Let's take a look.
Let's take a... No. You are horrible today.
Disable text auto advance.
Disabled. So.
Hey, Emily's gone to bed. Need to see someone.
Our first task should be finding the elector. Hopefully, our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly upon us.
Yes, it took us a couple weeks.
Yeah, about that.
The third promise and a retinue, I presume. You presume right? I seek the dawnservant's elector. Then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars at the village center. Everyone is waiting for you. Everyone? And who might that be? There's but one way to find out. Come, let us follow him.
What, is everybody... all the other promises still here?
Now we're about to get some Wuk Lamat backstory.
I imagine that, like, you know, trial that everyone has to do at once.
I hope not.
This is also the village Wuk Lamat came from.
I mean, that would be a good thing. It would hold Baku Jaja here. Keep him from advancing any further ahead.
Oh, speaking of.
Oh,
Wait, get first dialogue. I'm still on a loading screen.
Hey, you want to look at it too.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
Shut the fuck up, lizard.
I have a very strong urge to cut out his tongue.
I'd like to poke him in the eye. It looks very pokeable, like a button.
Yes. Hey, Nee, you want some target practice? Hit him in the pupil.
All right, enabling text auto advance. Proceed in 3, 2, 1, go.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with a Ligarmanda in the first place.
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin.
You just hold on a goddamn second. We have
My
words.
name is Hunmuruk. As a Brash Rash, I have the honor of serving as elector on behalf of my people.
Fascinating.
As all 4 claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival.
Now I'm concerned.
Third promise. If you would please join us.
Nice way of stopping people from steamrolling ahead through cheating.
Yes, but now I'm concerned of what it could be that requires all of us to be here at once. Done. Accurate?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
I swear to God, this better not be like a Jeopardy thing or something.
Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
Wuk's gonna be fucking paired with the two-headed arsehole, isn't he?
No, no,
What?
no.
You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
I love how he says weaklings when the first promise already
They
kicked his
won.
ass.
Only the triumphant team will receive
Yeah, but we
keystones.
don't know that.
I advise you to cooperate with your partner.
In other words, only 2 people will proceed.
Teams will
Dibs
be
on Kona.
decided by lots.
Damn it!
Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Damn it. Can we just take Kona, please?
You like Kona. Cat supremacy.
He's the only one who's not an asshole.
12 forbid Wuk Lamat is paired with Bakul Jaja. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
Same. Let's go do it, girl.
Me too, we need to get the rope. I don't know if Santos can't never find it, but you know.
Clemens, please present your colors.
Nah, it's been cool.
I have red. Blue. On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Please rep, please rep, please rep it.
Yay!
Yes!
Which means
Kona.
Time to get cats through.
Together again, as fate would have it.
Yes! Thank God.
Cat supremacy.
victory's as good as ours.
Which means Ralja is stuck
With
with
our
the two-headed
claimants
idiot.
thus paired, so too is their
And in this case, he won't
opposition.
even be a useful idiot.
Here we go.
Not the one head.
The one head who kicked your ass.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows.
Both out competition. Do it.
Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Shebrol cuisine. Shibruk Bibil.
Seriously. Seriously? Cooking?
Hang on. Shh, hang on.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Our promises have
Fred.
grown rather promising, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat, few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
The peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink. The Hanu Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living. So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture.
Going and getting it.
Is this what Father intended for us all along?
At least you two get it. I doubt the other two do.
That he's not quite
But a
there
leader
yet.
with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more
6
prosperous
degrees off.
future.
Kona!
It's like he's
I love-
almost there.
I love you, but I want to smack you.
There's a balance to be had.
The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shibruk Bivir will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques. Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster.
Should have spoken culinarian.
Let the feat of repast begin.
And they immediately just walk in separate directions. They're fucked.
Isn't the whole idea for them to work together?
I've never actually heard of Shibruk Bivir before. What's it like, I wonder?
So, yeah, Zeralgers can't just muscle somebody to freaking make it for him, right?
Nope. That would be against the rules.
I'll see how these two meatheads deal with it. I'm gonna be really surprised if somehow this expansion makes me like Zeralja.
Right, well, proceed. Apparently I didn't fully complete my last restroom run because my bladder is making demands, so I'll be right back again.
Indeed.
I will say, La Havre also happened in last expansion.
Okay. La Habrea was driven mad by Zodiark.
I mean, well, to be fair, La Havre was always kind of a dick. When he combined his two halves of his soul back together, because he split off his kind of shitty half, but then he recombined the two.
I mean, yeah. And I know, like, freaking Emmett Selk and all that. Like, I get that, but just like...
I mean, La Havre always was kind of a prick anyway, but...
and Emmett Selk was kind of a prick.
Yeah, but he
we ended up liking him.
Prick, despite being, you know...
But I just don't see any... I do not see any redeeming qualities of Zeralja yet. Because people who say that that want to use war to, like, oh, my country has gotten too comfortable with its lifestyle and we need to expand, so let me force them to go to war to not only expand our lands, but to teach them that, yeah, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Yes, let's make them do a pointless expansion and a war just to freaking just... I don't even know what for. Is it pride? Is
it... Like he says it... He claims it so that he can teach his people
so
that
I'm ready to
sucks.
resume.
But...
Whenever. What I miss?
Just me ranting about how I don't understand Zeralja, and if this expansion makes me like him, I'm going to be very surprised.
You said that before.
I know, but just like some people have said that before, had some kind of redeeming quality. I just cannot see that for
Whether he's going
Zeralja.
to be an Emmett Selk or a Xenos, because we like Emmett Selk just by him being a massive genocider. Well,
I never liked Xenos.
Xenos could burn
Even after
hell.
he died.
He worked well as a villain, but...
Oh yeah, I mean, I liked him as a villain, but he's rotting at the edge of the universe where he belongs, so...
Indeed.
Alright.
Gonna. Oh, disabled text.
A lot of advance. Yep. How fortunate that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Bakul Jaja's attempts to delay us. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? He's plenty strong, and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct advantage.
Actual teamwork?
Of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed.
Work.
Uh-huh.
Look. Ego. Temper it. this one. Precisely.
I sense the sarcasm.
You mean we have an advantage in numbers, yes? Oh! Just like, dude! You did not need to throw me under that Magitech armor. Our competition has a team of 6. The 2 claimants are Eljan Bakul Jaja's lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9. That's 3 more people we can mobilize. With the task suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that could have been easily avoided. Oh, that's Kona. Our first order of business should be determining the recipe for Jibruk Bibil. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing the daily habits of the Jabral people. Let us gather here once we have seen what clues this village has to offer.
There, it has to do with food. I feel like Wuk Lamat has an advantage.
Yeah, she'll just go kill a big-ass bird and stick its wings over a fire and then chow down. Simple but effective.
Mystic would love this quest. She loves culinarian.
Yeah, I actually have culinarian leveled somewhat on my main, and it actually addresses that. Like I think it's like Kryl will just be like, and we also have a practiced culinarian on our team, so victory is all but guaranteed. While looking directly at you, and I'm like, I haven't touched that class in 2 years. Like, I have it unlocked and I have a fair few levels in it, but I just kind of gave up eventually. Because I don't like crafting. It's boring to me. I know some people like it.
Level 30 culinarian.
I mean, Kyra has quite a few crafting jobs right now, and culinarian is just one I never got into.
Okay.
Mostly alchemist.
Alright, let's see here. What does this motherfucker have to say? We ought to cut our losses and head to Mamluk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool. If you think he won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, if taken from the house cat before, how difficult could the second time be? What are you looking at, salt liquor? Mind your own business.
We will kick your little asses if you try it.
Just imagine us walking up behind him and
No, do not.
You touch that house cat, and we touch you, and not the very.
Oh, you guys just went a completely different direction. Okay.
A banana peel.
I say, knee. Step on that and make sure it's actually a banana peel.
I feel like
I wonder.
Clumsiness is more your speed.
I wonder, since most locations in FF14 are in some way based or modeled off of real-world cultures and Dawntrail in particular, which culture is this one sort of reflecting?
I mean, I don't know enough about this area yet.
I mean, I like the
fire.
That's
I mean, the pit there could have some indications. A lot of cultures bury something underground while it's cooking to add a bit of more different way of seasoning to it.
And trapping smoke with it will probably influence the taste.
Indeed. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, I was trying to work it out by looking at the map and trying to figure out just where exactly America-wise it is. And looking at the entire world map and its, how geographically it's Earth, I realised something.
What?
Charlian, the Northern Empty, is the UK.
Which is interesting, it's modeled after Athens.
Alright, that makes sense.
This was stuffy aristocrats.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I mean, yeah, it tracks. It makes sense given, just how freaking much of this game world is just hey, Earth, let's just do that again.
Painted in all the Earth.
Anyways, banana peel. Why is it pink and glowing? An unusually colored banana peel has been neatly arranged on the ground, which appears to be smoking.
Huh.
Oh, it appears I've gone and dropped my najul. I mean, Jatika banana peel. Could barely see it for all the steam issuing from my underground oven. There's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use the leaves in your cooking.
Okay, yeah, the italics to take notes. Underground oven.
Hint, hint. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge.
Leaves. Okay.
And with the tropical, like, palm tree kind of deal and all the, like, the different types of huts that I see here, kind of giving me, like, I don't know, like a Hawaiian or a Philippine vibe.
Oh, there's a fight happening.
Blue.
Oh, yeah, so it is.
So it is.
Red
Oh
versus
my
red,
god.
Blue versus blue. It's I against I and me against you.
The Rooster Teeth
Plain
tabletop
cannon.
play got adopted by the Critical Role. Apparently.
Yeah, so I heard. I've never watched that. I didn't even know they had one, but good for them.
I knew they had one, never watched it, but they get to continue.
A recipe for Jibruk Pibil. I wish I could tell you, friend. A dish so delicious is meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything. Orders from Hunmo Rook himself. But your mentioning it has given me a fierce craving. I only hope there's still a brook to be had at market. Wink.
Wink, wink. Nudge,
Subtle. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Woohoo! Still 5. Right.
I see colorful spices.
Was it 0 level spices or normal level spices?
A number of spices, some entirely unfamiliar to you, are nestled in a basket. That one's called achiote. We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine, but its medicinal benefits are significant as well.
You know, there's a question we never really asked.
What?
The Warriors of Light. Did we ever, like, ask, like, did any of them like spicy food?
I don't think that ever came up.
I doubt Mika would.
Neil probably
think
see it as a
Thanatos.
challenge, and so it's Thanatos. I can see them competing over it.
Like, Mika might appreciate and, like, be curious about, like, how spicy food is made. Like, be interested in, like, the chemical science behind it. But, like, actually eating it, no.
And
because she is not a masochist.
Oh, I said Neil would probably see it as a challenge.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that about me too.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying about Mika. I was talking about Mika.
Kyra most certainly loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, she breathes fire.
Yeah.
And Cassandra loves it too.
Ansar I could see it as being passively indifferent. Rocket I could see face planting it and wondering where she gets some ingestion there.
Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Jibruk Pibil?
Very little.
True to our prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a staple dish, and observation of their techniques yielded clues enough. A lady blending local herbs and spices was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to Jibruk Pibil. But one in particular she attributed to all common Jibral dishes. Achiote, she called it. I see. Then if Jibruk Pibil is indeed a dish as ubiquitous as Alfino claims, we have confirmed our first ingredient. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook burying bundles wrapped in the leaf of najul or banana in certain localities. It would seem the use of subterranean ovens is commonplace. I saw the same. I think we all know what's inside those bundles then, don't you? A fistful of angry bees? The squeaky flesh of a bipedal fish. I'm going to eat a
Sizzling
goddamn
slab of
Nalazu.
beef. It smelled so good I could practically taste it. Okay, the middle one's definitely Thanatos.
But it's probably the top one.
Probably the top.
So I'll start to say it, and he just picks it up. Yeah.
Ibra, without a doubt.
Meat. Yeah, top one.
Yeah. As would be expected of a ditch called Jibruk Pribil, indeed. So to summarize, the dish is one of Ibruk flavored with a combination of spices that includes achiote and steamed underground within najul or banana leaves. Given our assumptions are correct, we must now learn where and how to procure our ingredients. As a staple cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Thancred and I scoured the surrounding forests while you all were exploring the village. Between the local vegetation and the wild Ibruk, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. Leave it to a master gleaner. With that, we should next divvy up our tasks. While some gather ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in its gathering. Somewhere Estinians less. I too should be glad to volunteer mine aid. Then the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I am happy to lead someone to a suitable Ibruk, if they will perform the requisite deed. Alize? As for the Najwa leaves, I believe I am capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find Najwa in these parts. They only grow in the Jatika heartland, forests far below these. Such an excursion may be time-consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Lamachi, and you, if you would accompany me on my errand? Oh. 1 second. Chewing. I brought snacks.
How ironic, and she's talking about her appetite, and you're freaking chewing.
Wuk Lamat, you want a granola bar?
Always have an appetite.
I'll happily give Wuk Lamat a granola bar.
You don't have to give Wuk Lamat a lot of things.
I will happily give Wuk Lamat a lot of things, yes. Head pat's chief among them. Alright. No better way to whet my appetite. Good. Let us be about our tasks then.
And you mentioned Estinian, and now I miss that guy.
He's around somewhere.
We get to see him again, or is he just gone?
He's just off exploring. I'm sure we'll run into him again at some
I haven't run
point.
into Estelle yet.
Or our other cat boy?
Yeah.
Graha's back at the annex, keeping things tidy while Kryle's over here.
Ystola is probably lost in a library somewhere.
Well, but they end up here at some point, because, you know, big back cacos. And the trail.
Anyways, come on, let's go and get those Naju leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we can eat.
Thank you, Wuk. Chest.
Ooh.
Oh, that looks nice.
It's not really Mika's style, but yeah, it's good. It looks good.
I'll kind of show you quickly, but yeah, not really. New style either.
That is just straight up a version of what Vs wears.
Yeah. A bit too much midriff for my liking. Also, on the other hand,
Hey, turnabout's fair play. If my midriff is showing, so is yours.
I mean, you're showing off a bit more skin than your midriff, but if...
If Nee has the play dead emote, she would be playing dead right now.
You know what? Honestly, what honestly Thanatos looks like something Brawl would be wearing.
Yeah, probably.
Brawl.
This is a recolor of the like the Raktika armor.
It does
set.
kind of look like the Raktika.
It is. It's just straight up a retexture of it. It's the exact same clothes.
Oh boy. Alright. Well, much fun as it is. Dip.
Nice.
Alright.
Peter, get out of Kona's face.
Kona! Kona! Every time we say Kona, it reminds me of Aeon saying Kuna.
Yeah, it does.
Let us see if there are Naju leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Oriange mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few.
So, here's my question.
Yeah.
The elector said that only the team that wins gets keystones.
Yeah, that's
correct.
So, if we win, does that mean Zeralja and Bakujaja are just out?
The only objective,
out of the thing.
I mean, the main objective is to bring, however many keystones to the entrance of the Golden City, we were said, so.
So you need all 7, right?
Yes, but also there's no rules against just snatching them. I mean, otherwise Bakujaja would have been, disqualified 11 times over by now.
In practice, this is kind of like an elimination round.
This is the 5th one, right?
Second to last. This is the 6th.
Okay, the 6th, yeah.
Right. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? Do you have any banana
We need
leaves?
bananas.
Banana?
Oh,
Banana.
banana. Jewel leaves. For purposes other than Jibruk Pibil, naturally. Unfortunately, I've just used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forest for more. Gulmajik Grove is the source of the finest Najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in the city markets can't compare. I see. I had hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but there is no other way to obtain our ingredient, and to the Jatika heartland we shall go. Allow me to save you the trip. One more. Traveling there requires that you go through the Tilinbeck Traverse, but it has caved in, due to the recent storm, I expect. What? But that means we can't get our Najwa leaves. But we can, can't we? If there were no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat, or else altered its objective. Perhaps. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Jibruk Pibil to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. I can't wait. Still, if there are no leaves here and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tulihiolan. So perhaps there is something about Jibruk Pibil that we have yet to learn. Something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients.
Good banana peels.
Oh, I see. Like who was the first to make it. It's history, that sort of thing. If it's Yaktel's history you're interested in, you should start with the old war. Between the Jabral and the Mamurja, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed, is to know Brook Bill. Huh? What does steam deep brook have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by the war, the village of Ilianaso. It lies a short distance to the east. The village of Ilianaso? Understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go and see this place.
Words.
Uber's here.
Uber.
Can't be an Uber. You're not taking me to all the money I watch. Uber's expensive.
That they are. Renting a car is even more expensive.
I like music in this zone.
Well, I still have mount music on, so all I can hear is the Chocobo theme.
Apparently Ari just randomly goes wah once in her day now.
Wah.
Has she been watching the Owl House?
No, just good chocobo noises.
Oh yeah, because that's what I do. I go.
Yeah.
Fluffy. You know, it's gonna change whenever Rosa gets the ability to speak to animals.
I can't wait next level up. That's gonna be so good.
No, let me finish chewing this chocolate and we can talk to Gon.
Now, here's a question. With that, are you gonna rule it to where, like, only Rosa can understand, or everybody in the party can understand?
I mean, it's Rosa talking to animals, not animals suddenly talk to people.
Yeah.
So, like, we as players are gonna be able to hear what Fluffy's saying, but our characters in-game are gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about with the bird?
Correct. You'll just hear Rosa, like, chirping at Fluffy, and then Fluffy excitedly chirping back. Because, like, oh my god, you understand me!
I always knew what she was saying anyway, now I can just do it more, you know, succinctly.
Oh boy.
The village of Ilianaso must be further east. Let's continue with haste. For all we know, our competitors may be on our heels.
I severely doubt it.
Well, one individually maybe, but otherwise.
I honestly think, well, Bakul isn't even a freaking, like...
If they are working as a unit, it's because Bakul has been placed under the boot of the Rolja again.
But the fact that, like,
Cenote.
I still don't see Zeralja really having a whole lot of success with this feat. Because, again, this isn't a thing where he can just bully somebody into doing what he wants. Like, you can't scare your way through this feat. We are currently being attacked by...
Lifeless squirrels.
Tiaitias. Or Tiaitias, I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
lemurs that grow freaking blades out of their arms. Also a piranha.
Where?
Get the fuck out of my way, Natos.
Lunch!
I saw it first, Elf!
Too bad
Fine.
I got longer legs. And of course, Mika gets it first because, you know, the wife always wins.
I popped
Happy wife, happy
immediately.
life.
Well, this place has seen better days.
Hey, the storm. Watch out.
This looks like voice. It is not.
It is not. So this is the village of Ilianaso, or what's left of it. Oh, Wuk is back. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Are you going to plant your face into the dirt again, old man? Please don't. Wuk I didn't know you were in Yaktel. I was picking up lumber from Ikbrash when I heard the third promise was on her way to this site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, and so followed you here. Wukevu's a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. Pleasure. You're a member of the Third Promise's retinue, I presume?
He is the second promise.
For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Kona. Now that's a good name. A familiar.
Here it comes.
Where have I heard?
The second promise.
Kona! As in second promise of Tuleolal! To think that I addressed the dawnservant's own son as some common retainer! Such disrespect cannot be excused. Please, pick up your gun and... Oh, come on, not this again! I take no offense, so please, do not dwell on it.
I'm not dwelling on that. It's fine.
Alright, then I shan't dwell on it. God, right on cue. At least he's consistent.
He's hilarious.
We like him.
Okay.
I understand you wish to learn about Jibruk Pibil. While I'm forbidden by the Jibraj Raj to divulge any information regarding its preparation, I would be happy to share what I know of Yaktel's history. We'd appreciate that. In its most basic sense, the conflict between the Jibral and Mamulja was one of land. The Mamulja live in the lower forest, where the thick canopy obscures the sun, and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Jibral, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Jibral forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. But as the state of this village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well. Blessed siblings. You must understand. The Mamulja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The Hubigo, Bunewa, and Dopro each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged the Jibral in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Hubigo and the Bunewa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one could have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have children together. But then it happened. A child arrived who shared the blood of Hubigo and Bunewa both. A two-headed Mamulja. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually arising as the first autarch, ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the autarch's rule, the newly united Mamulja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. I think it's best to see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale. Thampi, you coming?
You know that soft track that was playing in that scene? It took me too long to realize that's actually a instrumental version of Maker's Ruin.
Yeah, we've had that since Shadowbringers.
I know. took me far too long to even recognize that it was Mecha's ruin. They just rested me.
Hot damn.
Oh.
This is a forest that never recovered.
He does not like this. He really does not like this.
Ah, no.
Forests are supposed to be green.
I don't know what the problem is. I like it.
That's us. We can leave you here then.
This
Oh,
is
this is
where
what-
most battles were fought between the Shabral and Mamulja, the Shobrit Cinderfield.
Enable auto advance when ready.
Hang on.
I'm not. I said when ready.
Okay, now I'm ready.
I understand, DM.
3, 2, 1, go.
A field of cinders, indeed.
Big ass holes.
How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yoqui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawnservant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valigarmanda at full strength, and now this.
Like their time's equivalent of a Warrior of Light party.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawnservant's behest.
Who's that?
Powers active.
Wait, who am I echoing?
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that
My
to the
God, it's
scale
so weird
scum!
hearing him. So
We
sound
fight
so
to
much
protect
younger.
what is rightfully ours. If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace.
Puff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill deserve the bounty of this forest.
Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives. Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us. Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
That's the bloke who's hiding behind the tree.
He's from across the ocean.
Captain Ram.
He's alive.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then?
Oh, no.
You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Belu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation. The guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
That was fascinating. Where did we get that from?
Cameron. He's following us.
Oh, God, he can't still be
And
alive.
so began that
was 80 years
legendary
ago.
banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawnservant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Chebral steamed najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawnservant laughed and declared once more. Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Shibruk Pibil, I'd wager.
It is a marriage of Chebral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The Dawnservant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawnservant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
He's so cool.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd.
I mean, hey, food's
It's
like
somehow
the
so
cornerstone of
very
being alive.
papa.
You kind
I
of need
couldn't
that
help
stuff.
but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us. What's wrong? Someone was there, you say?
Those senses are tingling.
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
So that was an info dump and a half.
And now we are being followed by somebody who knows something. He's dead.
Is he? Present a body.
It's aged and gone. It's been 80 years.
There's still bones.
That's us. After everything we've seen, all the shit we've done, some guy managing to live 80 years and somehow his lifespan is too far for you?
Look, I can. If it was a bunny or like one of the races that's known to live that long, yes, I could understand it. But from what I understand, Rogadin's lifespan isn't much different than most of the other races.
This guy was also in the party that found the Golden City. He might have stayed there, whatever that's worth.
Also, did the Yokoi that was with him look a lot like the guy that was giving us the feat?
Yep.
It was the same guy.
So wait, are all of the electors basically the group that he traveled with,
No. You'll notice we don't have the Vieira among them. Only some of them are from that old party.
Some will be dead after 80 years, but others not.
Yeah, like the Hanu is gone.
The Palu.
Probably, yeah.
So just
Vieira in his group is absolutely still alive, though. Because I live, like, until the sun takes a dump, so...
I mean, yeah, so might run into her at some point. At least it looked like a her.
It was a her.
Either way.
Anyways.
Look.
Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the land and learned about our people's myriad cultures, and we are doing the same now.
He ended a conflict with food.
How very papa. Ooh, pants!
Hans. Ew. A little too baggy for my taste.
Alright, well. Kona.
Oh, we get a present.
Okevo has given us valuable insight into the origins of Jibruk Pibil. However, we are still no closer to procuring the necessary Najul leaves. Unless... Tell me, was that historic feast commemorated in some fashion? With a monument, for instance? Indeed it was. Allow me to show you. Oh, wait, hold on. Uber probably would be better.
I got one.
Uber's here.
Hey, come on. Stop clicking on me.
That's us. I'm taken. And you know. Okay.
Yes, I know. I already told you I'm not into elves.
Of course you would be the gay one. It's still one of my favorite lines from that campaign.
Who was it that said that again?
Rania.
Oh,
when you introduced Mika to your sisters, and Ronnie was like, of course you would be the gay one.
Oh my god.
And I still love that line.
They had absolutely no idea. Because if I remember...
Alright, disable text advance.
Was asking about boyfriend things, so...
Here it is.
An axe and a sword.
Offered up by the two factions, these weapons symbolized their vow that they would never again raise arms against each other. Since this feat demands a journey through history, I thought it only logical that a monument like this might steer us through, especially one at the heart of so significant a battlefield. Lamachi, friends, would you help me search this area for clues? Tell me if anything catches your eye. Sure thing. Okay.
I am blue and I'm looking for clues.
A clue! A clue! Look here. The soil has been recently overturned.
He freaking buried a bunch of those bananas, didn't he?
Ooh, someone buried the box.
Box.
Well, well. I would have been satisfied to find only a hint, but here they are. Fresh nodule leaves. What Muruk's doing, I'd wager. There's a poetry in hiding them on this battlefield, given that it was central to the war they helped end. So he planned all this from the start. Thank you again, Wuk Lamat.
If you knew the history.
We wouldn't have found these leads without your help. It was my honor to render assistance. And with apologies to present company, allow me to offer my encouragement as well, Third Promise. Ever since I witnessed your performance in the Feat of Reeds, I've been certain that you are the claimant most worthy of leading our nation. All devised solutions to the Hanu's ailing crops, but you alone sought to know their culture and revive Ihana, even if it seemed unrelated to your task. In my humble opinion, no one cares more for the people of Tuliholal and what they hold dear. Should you again require the historical musings of an old shipwright, I am ever at your service. For now, I take my leave.
Bye.
I cannot argue with that.
He admits it.
We have what we need. Let us return to Ikbrash.
Pull together, you dolts.
I have a very strong suspicion that's what's gonna happen.
What?
Pull together.
Like the whole like two-headed thing is like one of resolve, one of
Reason.
what reason?
I think Thanatos doesn't have.
He has reason. He just rarely listens to it.
I have reason. You guys showed me reason to not kill everybody and freaking.
And that was an entire, chapter worth of grievances.
I mean, just think. You talk about like a darker chapter, like if Nee went all dark after Mika died. Imagine how dark it would have been if you guys had had not stopped Thanatos to freaking just slaughtering everybody.
The timeline
in
with
that city.
Thanatos would have been the near rebound, even though she didn't swim that way because she's absolutely fucked up. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, as I recall, Thanatos' shtick in that instance wasn't kill everyone in Kurzatan. It was not care what happens to everyone in Kurzatan.
Yeah. Well, that
the
and
power
in,
vacuum happens.
That and in my head, like there was a chance of like if you hadn't been there to show him reason, he would have probably killed every remind me of the race, every Bonga in the place, whether he figured they were whether he figured they were part of the family or not.
Yeah, you can safely assume that probably would have been a case of a dark side Caius going apeshit before you tamed him.
Oh yeah.
And then you tamed him, and he had a whole thing, and then he eventually sacrificed himself to return to you, and it was surprisingly sad.
And then Thanatos named his son after him.
Despite the fact he was like an evil bastard at the start, he managed to win you all over because you put in the effort to redeem his ass.
He did.
I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, his primary objective ever was and always self-preservation for Thanatos.
Indeed. And eventually, he was
the final battle against Diablos. He made it through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then eventually determined, you know what? I'm Rage Incarnate, and we really don't need more of that with the rebuilding that needs to be done now. So I think I'm gonna go.
Yep. And Thanatos named his son after him, and he became a great warrior. Jeez. I kind of regret like having him dead, because now I thought about it, and like would have been more cool to just like have him, just like instead of like the whole thing, and just have like him being the oldest. like sibling, and then it was him being an old man that they would eventually like run into in like a bar or something. Cassandra would be so excited, and then everybody like,
now.
yeah, I know, but
Anyways, I'm glad we were successful. The others should be back soon, I expect. I hope so. I'm famished.
You're always famished.
Food. Me, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I'll get cooking.
Stereo.
I speak from experience. Nothing is more dangerous than when your fiance or wife or whatever is hungry.
Indeed.
How did everyone fare? We got the nodule leaves. Wukavu came along and helped us find them. Wukavu was here. I would have liked to say hello. Yes, he gave us an important history lesson. I like how that's just become our thing.
Also, I have an echo. We had an echo thing. No big deal.
Echo powers
Yeah.
activated.
It was just more direct context. That Galul Jaja brought an end to centuries of warfare surprises me little, but to achieve said peace through cuisine is something else entirely. Leave it to my old man to find the oddest of solutions. But how about the rest of you? Is our kitchen ready? Everything should be in order. Urionje and I made another tour of the village and borrowed the cooking utensils we need, with no mention of what we needed them for, of course. And I am pleased to report that we are stocked with the finest firewood this forest had on offer. Spoken like a true expert. Aronville and I found our Ibrook, so we should have meat aplenty. It was a spirited creature, so much so that its hunter fell down a cenote trying to catch it. What part of never speak of this to anyone did you not understand?
Aronville, I'd be very careful. She has a very hot temper.
Aronville doesn't care. He throws everyone under the bus. I picked a good portion of local herbs, with a particular attention to the seeds that yield akiote. I'm told our resident astrologian divined the appropriate measurements for the seasoning as well. Aye, though through further inquiry did I determine the ideal balance of spices. Then all that remains is to prepare the dish itself. I presume that at least one among us is versed in the culinary arts? I can hardly claim profound skill, but I have cooked for myself. You can leave the rest to me.
It's where culinary.
I imagine if like you had culinarian, you'd have something to say.
Yeah, in this line she mentions it. And you, I hope. I could use your adventurer's grit when it comes to skinning the Ibrook. Oh, my mouth is watering already. Without further delay, then, let's cook some Jibruk Pibil.
Spiced meat with steamed banana leaves.
Cooked in steamed banana leaves, yes. Honestly, I'm curious to, like, if it were at all possible with my kitchen to make it, I would be curious to try it for myself just to see if it's any good.
Again, you'd have to bury it out in your yard.
Yeah, and I don't think my landlord would appreciate that.
Probably not.
Oh, it smells so good.
And this is voice.
Good, there is still time.
I wait a
I
dialogue.
shall prepare our sample at
wait.
once.
Tom?
Yep, cool.
British man. What?
I said go.
Ah, okay, 3.
Oh, hello? Oh no.
The reptiles are
Hello?
fucked.
Hello?
I have a briefly lost you.
At first I wasn't sure about being stuck with the one head. But better that than playing nanny to the mewling house cat.
Thank you, Wuk.
Be quiet, Bakul Jaja. No one cares what you think.
Act tough all you
Lilith.
like.
I'm done with him, she
Victory
is.
will be ours.
Again, no one cares what he thinks.
It's ready. Apologies for the wait. We submit to you our Shibruk Pibil.
Looks like a tortilla.
This looks amazing!
You always like to really go all out on the models of food nowadays.
The dish is prepared by using the culinary techniques of the Mamulja to cook the spiced meats favored by the Jabral. It is a symbol of peace between their two peoples after centuries of war.
Both the ingredients and your methods appear to have been correct.
How does it taste?
Now then.
Taste test. Very small in that house.
In taste, texture, and aroma, you have recreated Shibruk Pibil admirably. Granted, anyone might well achieve similar results by following the recipe to the letter. But you went a step further. You sought to learn the cultural significance of the dish, about Yoktel's history of violence and your father's role in ending it. Your willingness to take lessons from the past befits aspiring dawnservants. And for that, I commend you. All that remains is to partake of your creation. True understanding
Shove it in your mouth, Wuk.
is gained only through experience.
Now this is something I'm definitely good at.
Ahem. I believe we have yet to receive our assessment. Ours is also a faithful example of Shibruk Pibil, as you will no doubt agree.
Well,
Didn't say much about the aroma.
uh-oh.
He does not look happy.
I see.
He does not.
While your effort looks the part, unlike the second and third promises dish, it lacks its defining aroma.
Preposterous! The meat was marinated in spice before being steamed in an earthen oven. This is Shibruk Pibil.
Oh? And what about the Jatika banana leaf?
It's because of you that we couldn't get any damn leaves! You can't fault us!
But the second and third promises had no such difficulty, did they? That which they needed, they acquired simply by showing interest in our history and heritage.
Ugh, it's just some crusty old leaf. What difference could it make?
Yeah, it's missing the key ingredient. What difference could that make at all?
Your dish lacks an essential ingredient. As you have failed to demonstrate an adequate understanding of Shibruk Pibil, I must deem your performance unsatisfactory. Your team will not receive keystones.
This was stupid anyway.
Seralja. Why is he glaring at her?
His ambition only grows more intense. That someone could harbor such
Wait, is she
dark
getting an echo?
thoughts towards family.
Yeah. She has the echo to,
What do I care for this sham of a feat? I can always take what I need later.
Hey, hold on a second. You still have our... what? Well, because now that... Go get your keystone from him.
Delicious!
Wuk's eating, man. I think Seralja is,
The brook is so tender it melts in your mouth. And the way the Najul leaf rounds out these spices is sublime.
Like, I couldn't really tell with how his eyes were. Was he glaring at her?
He was glaring at Wuk.
This is the taste of harmony. Someone who only knows brute force and deception could never appreciate it.
Seralja is going to try and kill us. Take us there and...
Choke on your harmony.
Choke on your harmony.
Wow.
Well, you certainly choke trying to make yours.
Come. Finish your meal.
So now Seralja
That
is
too
down at
is part of the
Keystone, which
defeat.
means he's probably going to be either trying to take it from her
Don't have
or
to tell me
Kona.
twice.
I don't like the implications of that, especially with Kryle's whole thing.
Ah, that was bliss.
He's kitty happy.
Oh, come on, have it
Was
just a
palatable
taste,
enough,
you nerd.
I suppose.
He grew up with... He spent most of the time in Charlie, and what did he know what taste?
And to be fair, some people are just picky eaters. I am.
To you, who have successfully performed the feat of repast, I present these keystones.
Now I only got one left.
I want to recover.
Only 1 feet left.
And find out what horrors are waiting in the Golden City.
Probably something horrible.
Something we need to be done.
Well, I should get going
We
then.
must break our fast.
It would have been a much less enjoyable
I'm glad that
competition.
I
but also
wasn't
probably a much
paired
tighter
with one of the
race
others.
if, like, we had actually been evenly divided with, like, you know, someone we didn't like.
We can do better than that, surely.
Oh boy.
The 6th keystone is ours. Thanks
Oh.
for all your help, everyone. I forgot something important.
What's that?
Oh
is
my
there any
God.
sharp people left? I could really use
I forgot
another
something
helping.
important. I'm hungry. Such a cat.
Look! Keystone! Two-headed bastard!
Brother, probably gonna try and do some family murder. Oh.
He wouldn't go that far, would he?
I mean, with Kryle's the whole thing of how he has such dark thoughts towards his own sibling, I think he's gonna go there.
What?
Like Kryle, that's a very ominous foreshadowing what he's gonna do.
I don't think his father would very much appreciate that.
Probably not.
That was so good. I'm already looking forward to having Gibrook people again. Here, you two. Kryle made more using leftover ingredients. You'll love it. I'm thinking to buy more for the road myself. Now that the Feast of Repast is over, the villagers should be free to offer it to us, right? And we got Jibruk Pibil in our inventory. We can stick it in the apartment we don't have.
I have one.
Alfie? I don't like that title. I don't like that title.
Seeing as we now face the penultimate objective of the rite, it would be wise to travel to Mamuk and undertake the feat of the Brotherhood without delay. Wise, yes, but impossible. The traverse which connects the upper forest to the Jatika heartland is still impassable.
Can't I just break it?
Is there no other route? I'm afraid not. Work to clear the path is underway, though, so I'm hopeful we can resume our journey soon. Then let us each use this time as we see fit. I, for one, would like to explore the village's surrounds, if Erenville would oblige me with a tour. Very well, I have no other engagements. Then I'll come with you, if only to prove that I am capable of keeping my footing. Though I shouldn't rejoice in our delay, it does afford me an opportunity to look into my grandfather's purported visit to Yaktel. Oh, that's right. Mablu did say something about a foreign mage coming through here decades back, didn't she? I'll come with you. Want to join us? Might as well. I got nothing else going on.
I got nothing else to do.
Let us reconvene here after our respective diversions. As I recall, the merchant met my grandfather at a market in Yaktel some 20 years ago. Any who might reliably remember him must therefore be at least middle-aged. Let's make inquiries where we can.
Hello, we are wondering if you've seen an old man come through here a few decades ago.
I mean, Gallof wouldn't have been an old man yet.
He was Tarko, right?
This quest.
No, Gallof was a cure.
What?
So let's finish up this quest and then call it for the evening.
Sure. But also, yeah, Gallof was a hewer.
Foreign maid? 20 years ago. Yes, I remember him. It's not often we get visitors from across the salt, let alone those traveling with infants. A baby girl, as I recall.
Oh?
I only saw him in passing, mind. If anyone were to know more, I'd wager it would be Hunmuruk. She was already Jabrajaj then.
A baby girl? It couldn't have been. Thank you, sir. That information is very helpful.
What's that baby girl the size
Was
of
it her?
thumb?
It couldn't have been Cryo. Could it?
I guess so. She's about 20, isn't she?
Yeah.
So I'm confused. If he was a healer and she's a Tarafel, does that mean like not biologically?
Well, obviously, we've known for a long time that Cryo was adopted.
Okay. Well, I must have forgot that bit, sorry.
Adopted and raised by Gallof, who she called grandfather.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. I thought it was like actually her grandfather.
No.
Hello again. Do you require assistance?
A foreign mage passed through Ikbraj roughly 20 years ago, possibly carrying a young child. Do you remember him?
Why do you ask me this? Who is this man to you?
He may have been my grandfather, and I wish to know what brought him here.
Your grandfather?
Not by blood, but he is family nonetheless.
A foreign mage did indeed visit Ikbrash, Master Gallof. So far as his identity is concerned, I trust you are satisfied. More than that, however, I cannot say.
Why not?
I simply cannot. I beg your forgiveness and understanding.
Very well. I will not press. Thank you for confirming his presence here. The rest I'll discover for myself. Out of more general curiosity, I have another question. They say the Yokoi once dwelled in these forests. Where was that exactly?
General curiosity indeed, but yes. Before they withdrew to Urkopacha some 5 centuries ago, the Yokoi claim Dawntrail is their own. Many of their architectural remains can be found in the laurel forests, the Jatika heartland.
Then that's where they must have had their visions. Thank you. That answers much and more.
I understand what it means to long for one's family, so believe me when I say that though my position forbids me from aiding you further, I wish you nothing but success. By helping the Third Promise find the Golden City, you will surely find the answers to your questions.
If the Golden City has anything
So
to do
wait,
with its research in Eureka.
Speaking of which, I have a query of my own for you. May I request a moment of your company?
Me? What do you want with me?
Go on. We'll wait for you.
I don't know nothing about this place.
But no? Thank you for obliging me. First, let us head to the cenote behind this village. Uber's here.
So, either Gallof told him not to tell Kryl, or this is part of the feat.
I mean, it's already been established at the start that it's against the rules of the competition to talk about things that relate to the Golden City. And we know that Gallof was called here by someone in a position of government to investigate it. So Gallof cannot be directly talked about.
Well, shit.
Because it would give an unfair advantage to Wuk. Right.
Fair enough. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Alright. We got dialogue?
Yep.
Right. It was my intention to see you off without saying anything, but Mr. Scryer's plea has softened my resolve. As the leader of our community, I'm gladdened to see that the Third Promise has surrounded herself with such compassionate and trustworthy companions. Would you tell me of her journey thus far?
Why are you specifically interested, bud?
Am I the only one who's kind of thinking their hair color is kind of similar?
Is that so? It seems the ride has been a great source of learning and growth for Wuk Lamat. It does me well to hear that.
Let me guess. Biological daddy.
My daughter would be about her age. Girls are rarely born amongst the Jabral, so when she arrived, the village was elated. Such joy I felt when first I held her, and pain when I found her at the bottom of a cenote. 3 years old. An accident, it was said, but I knew better. She had been pushed.
What?
Though we never caught them, a suspicious figure was seen fleeing towards the Jatika heartland, towards Mamuk. Once bitter enemies, the Mamulja and Jabral had learned to live in peace. But who could doubt the intent of such a reprehensible act? By targeting the child who would one day lead her people, the criminals sought to undermine the future of the Jabral. I was determined not to let them succeed. So I let the memory of my daughter die in that cenote and gave her into the care of the one person I knew who could protect her. Dawnservant Galul-Jaja.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, Papa.
She didn't die.
Though she was born to lead the Jabral, fate had a greater plan for Wuk Lamat.
So this is Wuk's dad, and someone tried to kill her when she was 3 by pushing her down a hole.
Only the Dawnservant and I know the truth. But I must now take you into my confidence for one reason. If the villain who attempted to murder my daughter was indeed of Mamuk, then rancor towards the Gibral still burns. I was caught off guard once. I will not suffer the same tragedy again. And so I ask of you, not as the Dawnservant's elector, but as a father, to watch over the third promise. Defend her from any enemies that may be lurking in the shadow. Will you do this for me?
Do you even have dads?
We've already made that promise to one of her dads. We'll happily make it for the other.
Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
How sure this is done? Think high at some point.
And of course, Galojaja's line from before.
Yeah.
But as a concerned father.
Suffice it to say, this conversation must remain between us. Pray breathe not a word of this to anyone.
We get to introduce them at some point. So I feel like Wuk would like to have two dads. Double the presents for birthdays.
Nah.
I overheard it. Right. Deal with that little shitbag.